upgrades, right? Not that it's later or anything. Now it's 2-1 mutas. Well, in 10 seconds it will be 2-1 mutas for Solar, and not the case for Sue. And I'm not sure what, okay, we just now have the infestation pit coming up here. But, yeah, I mean, you would have thought if he wasn't going to go for that, you would immediately start that tech. So I think there's a lot more initiative here for Solar, at least in this time being.
Yeah. And Sue now trying to go for a run by. It looks like Solar has identified
he's
that
got to be careful. Got to be careful.
Yeah, is behind here for Sue.
If
he's trying to take a fight, but he can't exactly catch up to the mutas with his own mutas.
Basically, in ZVZ, if you're retreating and you're closer to the center of the map, and their army, their flying army is closer to their main, you can always get away. But if they can ever get in between that, kind of like we saw the edge here. You see when they try to arc down, and the edge of those mutas can collide into that. Well, hold up here. We have a huge attack coming up.
The mutas and Solar have to get back there and help this out because the Banelings, even just 3 for Sue, are going to push ahead. Now he can do a nice bit of damage on the ground. It looks like the mutas are going to come back, though.
Now, Solar was really smart to go back there. He knows that what Sue is trying to do is actually fly up to the top center and hit with his mutas. Now, what is being done, I think, very effectively here for Sue is he's actually going to get these 8 infestors out. And in the time that Solar had that +2 attack upgrade, he was never able to actually initiate a fight because Sue had such good map control.
Yeah, and it's like, even if you have 2-2 to the 1-1 of your opponent, if he's got 8 infestors and he lands any fungals at all, you're dead.
It should
it's
end.
over.
I mean, you could combo that and pretty much end the game.
Yeah.
By the way, maxed out ZVZ right now. I do like Sue getting that burrow upgrade. That can be very handy later on in the game, especially with infestors burrowing and then ambushing the mutas.
Oh, yeah.
Note that Solar with infestors out is okay with a wide spread of mutas.
Oh.
Okay, now here's where actually Solar, okay, he didn't do it. I was going to say if he can get in front of that in any way, he might be able to force a fight, but with infestors out here, that may be unwise as well.
The mutas are flying in, and there's a big
Fungal's going down! And we have 2 great fungals here, 3 great fungals, and I think we're easily going to have a 4th here as he casts that on top of this. And with all the mutas down like that, this is a very scary moment. And Sue is doing it, man.
There are the money fungals.
There it is, GG.
That's it.
The supply, you saw that just plummeted. Okay, so let me recap that real fast, guys.
Sure.
Sue, in that moment, did not go for upgrades and said, no, I have a moment where I can pin them, essentially. I can keep Solar back in his base, but I'm going to have these infestors out. And since really Solar wasn't able to be on the map, as long as he got the fungals set up, the upgrades don't matter anymore because the damage is being distributed so quickly, and the mutas can't move to where they need to go, which is a moment where you can out-micro a first muta fight. So that was a great play there. Sue really showing us so far he seems to have a much greater, deeper understanding of ZVZ in its current state in Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, Sue kind of just got the trump card, If he just landed 1 fungal, it's exactly what I said. Just 1 fungal that hits a majority of the mutas, and he wins the game. That's all he needed to do, and that's exactly what he did. Now we're going to Prime Terraces, which, by the way, Sue did pick over Larlac Crest, which is going to be game number 3. Of course, after vetoing the maps. I did see that in the makeup room, so it seems like he wants to play on this one.
Let's see what happens. This is a very weird map for ZVZ. And we'll get into that when this game starts, since the gold base is in the natural. It takes a completely different way of approaching it. Muta versus Muta may not be the name of the game in this CVZ. We're going to find out. This is game number 2. Solar against Sue.
5, 4,
in the GSL Code S. The winner will go on to the winner's match here tonight. In the upper left.
Anthem Galaxy. Solar.
Got to be feeling the hurt after that first one.
Yeah, no kidding. Smashed there in the end. In the bottom right, in the red, winning game number 1.
SK Telecom T1 Sue.
I just realized Yuri's casting today.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because the Heroes of the Storm thing is going on. Big tournament here in Korea. Artosis is at that as well.
I didn't realize that. I'm glad you pointed that out. That's really interesting. Would love to listen to some of that, but
yeah, good luck with that.
Fortunately, I'm casting.
That's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy, man. So we have the gold bases here at the Natural.
JYP is good looking. Sansa.
Yeah, he is. He's very good looking.
He had a fake number
I
in
would
the bottom
say
left.
all of the casters here
Call
are
me
very good
JYP.
looking.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, note right away, guys, Solar doing a very similar build. And I got to say, this worries me a little bit because if this doesn't put him in a lead, I think he's going to lose because he's taking a gold base very late.
Oh, yeah. This is pretty all-in, especially on this map. I'm glad you pointed that out. And it's really playing against the map, you know? Normally it would be like, I want to get my gold base as soon as possible. It's right at my natural. It's easy to defend. But instead, Solar's like, I think my opponent's going to do that, so I want to do a counter build to that. And that's exactly what he's going to do here. Nice Overlord plays from Su. He may see these Lings that are trying to be hidden by Solar.
Yeah, in fact, this is really smart. He may end up intercepting this. He's going to be... No, maybe not. He's just out of vision there.
Wow. Really nicely done by Solar. I mean, there's still a chance that Su sees this.
I'll tell you what, Valdez. If I was Su, I would not expect Solar to do this build on this map.
Yeah. He needs to see the hatch coming down this late. That's what he needs to see right now, and I think he's about to see it, but here come the Lings. Su himself is making only Lings, so he has identified this, and he's now getting that Baneling Nest.
Okay, he's evacuating the drones here. Good zoning. Okay, and that was smart actually to engage there with the drones. Queen's out. Now he needs to just make sure the ramp is under control.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to do that damage.
What's smart is he keeps the drones with the Lings, so the drones basically don't die as easily. And he's just very good with his control. You can see he's kind of zoned him back. And, okay, and Engage is actually happy here. I wasn't sure if he was going to go for the drones or not. And he sees when the drones have been pulled, he tries to go up, heading towards the ramp. He does. He runs up the ramp now.
Baneling Nest about to complete here for Su, but he needs to keep as many drones as possible alive. Nice drone drill here.
Oh, these drones not going back to the... okay, now they are going back to the gold base. Really good control here by Su, I got to say. We've only had 3 drones actually killed so far, which is pretty insane considering how strong of a rush this was here from Solar. Solar has finished his base over his expansion.
Really nicely done here by Su for the defense. I'm not sure if these Lings will get any more damage, especially now that the Baneling Nest is out. Looks like he snipes a Queen, but that's about all he's going to get. And now Su, he's had this base up for longer. He's got more drones. He's in a fantastic spot.
He's had more drones, and he had even more drones earlier on there. Yeah. So, I mean, he's going to have a big benefit mining here. We see an immediate Roach Warren here. He may actually try to do another attack follow-up with this, because I don't think this is going to parlay well. Just having a minor drone lead, if there's gold bases involved, you could still end up getting exponentially behind, which is quite scary. And again, Su just doing a good job controlling these Lings here, picking his fights very wisely, continuing to pump Lings. We have a dozen more Lings coming right now. 20 drones to 18 right now with Solar in the deficit.
Yeah, Solar, I'm kind of surprised that he's making drones, but he does have to catch up, you know, and he needs to saturate that gold base, so he's getting that. Now the Roach Warren has completed, but he really doesn't have that much minerals and gas to make too many roaches. He's making 1 right now, but he's going to need a lot more. Look at how many Banelings are being morphed at the bottom of the ramp. 6 right now and 1 already out in the map.
Yeah, and it looks like the scales may be tipping here as Su is going to try to come up here, and that's going to be a GG before we even got to the action.
Wow.
He knew his fate. Su completely out-muscling Solar back there in a great game. And that's that. He's going on to the winner's match.
Yeah. These results, to be honest, kind of surprised me. I mean, Solar was able to take 2 games off of Dark.
You know, I did not expect Su to Hulk smash Solar back there. I thought it was going to be very close. You know, the last game 1, I should say. Game 1, I thought, okay, that's fine. You know, that was a solid ZBZ, but I don't think that Solar should have picked that build.
Yeah,
Game 2.
I gotta be honest, I agree with you there. I'm not sure about that build, especially on that map. Especially if you're not gonna follow it up with a Baneling Nest. It's definitely a lot weaker there, and did not work out for him.
He's getting so many more minerals with the gold base. You could just make a ton of Lings and basically win the counterattack. And teching to Roaches, it seems a little bit questionable. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he didn't even have the economy to go. He had like 20 drones just barely getting pumped out there.
Yeah.
And he made like 1 Roach. So once he saw the 7 Banelings, he's like, okay, this is
It's
over.
a different economy when you have a gold base at your natural. Anyways, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, our second match to start today here in tonight's GSL Code S round of 16.
Times that I've seen you lose your way, you're not in control, and you won't be told. All I can do to keep you safe is hold just till you can breathe on your own. Till you can
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let's make it hot.
에너지 음료 핫식스는 GSL과 함께합니다.
언제나 있는 그대로의 맑고 깨끗함을 지켜가라고. 겨울을 잊은 강물이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성 사이다.
BT의 몸을 맡겨라.
새로운 영웅은 언제나 환영이야.
오버워치 5월 24일 출시. 예약 구매로 누구보다 빠르게 친구와 오픈 베타에 접속하세요.
회의가 좀 늦게 끝나서.
아 그래요? 괜찮아요. 그냥 게임 몇 판 하면서 기다리고 있을게요.
아씨 뭐 하는 거야, 여보. 아 왜라고 좀. 뭐 철 만들었나 부서지지도 않네.
K3에 지치지 않는 열정으로.
Passion is my fuel. The new K3.
지금 바로 여기 여기요.
치킨 먹고 갈래.
한 번 맛보면 매니아가 된다. 치킨 매니아.
자네가 그 치킨 매니아인가?
RC 세대 교체를 위한 입단 테스트가 시작된다.
이렇게 구우면 어때요? 기가 막히죠?
CF가 대세긴 한데 다음
우리도 한번 봅시다. 단장 양반 입단 테스트.
크리스탈 하츠포.com 지금 다운로드 받으세요.
피자통, 떡볶이통, 짬뽕통, 보쌈통. 대한민국 모든 배달 음식 통을 응원합니다. 배달은 우리가 통이다.
지금 먹고 싶어. 피자 마루 빨리 먹고 싶어. 너무너무 맛있는 피자 마루 최고야. 오히려 피자 마루.
전설이들 당신의 이야기가 시작된다. 드래곤 아이드 지금 시작합니다.
소개팅을 1년 만인데 혹시 소개팅 자주 하세요? 저는 중국어 조금 할 줄 아는데 혹시 중국어 배워보실 생각 있으세요? 이런 여자 어때요? 네, 좋아요. 6시 정도 만날까요?
난 아무런 생각이 없다. 왜냐면 아무런 생각.
저는 누가 오든지 상관없어요.
I haven't told you everything.
박민수 선수가 어려워하는 상대를 뽑고 싶어요.
솔직히 키워 너무 많이 해먹었어요 지금까지.
장난하지 말고 주성욱 선수랑 윤영서 선수랑 바꿨으면 좋겠어요.
뭐 미쳐볼까
갑자기 미쳐 날뛰고 있어요.
축척 때 있던 제 평택 수돗물이 올라와가지고.
What's going on?
If you want to survive, you must stay with us.
김준호 선수가 편하게 우승하려면은 저를 좀 바꿔주시면 영서의 알파고스로 생각이 좀 놀랐고요. 족발집 위치 좀 알려주시면. 다음에 시드 받으면 그냥 반납할래요.
We are hope.
We are honor.
We are courage.
We are justice.
We are compassion.
We are determination.
We are harmony.
We are Overwatch.
에너지 음료 핫식스는 GSL과 함께합니다.
2016 Hot 6 GSL Season 1 Quarters. Hot 6 GSL Season 1 Quarters. 압도적인 힘.
We're back, bitches. This is GSL Code S. Tasteless and Valdez here tonight. Zest versus Cure. A PDT coming up next.
This is going to be a fantastic matchup. I'm very curious to see what Cure is going to do to defeat Zest. Zest's definitely the favorite, but don't count Cure out. Just like I was saying yesterday, don't count Trap out, don't count Tasia out. And Tasia did end up making it through over Trap. And we'll see. I mean, the winner of this is going to have to go up against Sue. Definitely a hard opponent there in the winner's match.
Certainly a player who could get out first and foremost. But the other player everybody has their eyes on is Zest. Zest is a phenomenal Protoss player. He was killing it in Heart of the Swarm. A very stable Protoss. He also has a lot of dynamic different ways to approach each of the matchups. He's not as locked in. He doesn't have these railroad tracks he follows like, let's say, somebody like Rain, who was also very dominant in Heart of the Swarm. But Legacy of the Void is still in its infancy. And with that being said, we got to see, can these guys maintain their status? Some of them have, some of them have not, and today is going to be one of those deciding moments. Our other player, Cure, this guy's been rank 1 GM on the Korean ladder multiple times. He's said to be the best player to train with on his team. As far as individual results go, it has been lackluster, at least compared to what his teammates say about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got a problem with inconsistency. I'm just wondering which Cure are we going to see tonight? Is it the good Cure or is it the not-so-good Cure?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one to say, right? I think experience is what has to be measured first and foremost, because we've had plenty of players who are very good, but it takes them sometimes a few months, a few seasons, a few years before they're able to really dominate when they are in a packed studio and the world on the interwebs is watching.
Yeah, and even in this new GSL studio, they're more so on stage now. They're not in the booths, you know. They don't have the protection of the glass anymore. It's like they're right in front of these people. Yeah, that may make you a bit more nervous.
If we get another shot of the studio here, which, by the way, is so sick. Our new studio looks so good. Second day here casting it. There's a little taste of it. That's a teaser. That's a teaser right there. They're not in a booth. We've figured out how to soundproof it properly. We've had no complaints so far. But yeah, there's a much more naked feeling being out there. The audience right there up in front of you. There was always a little bit more privacy when we actually used those little structured booths we made. So this is a different beast tonight. Our first map is going to be on Dusk Towers.
Yeah, a good map for Zest to start on here. Definitely liking his chances to get ahead in this series.
Let's see what he does. Zest is somebody who can do pretty much any build in the game. Let's see what happens in game number 1. In the bottom left, in the blue, our Protoss player, he is...
Naked All-Star, Jest.
There he is, one of the most handsome pro gamers we do have.
Yeah, he's at least top 3 handsome.
Yeah,
I would say.
We got to get someone to rank that. Maybe
That's
Wolf.
right. We get the Wolf power ranking, Wolf power ranking there. In the upper right in the red.
Linear green wings, Cure.
I like the headsets that they wear. It definitely helps out with the soundproofing.
You know, when I first got here the first day, I just wasn't quite sure what to expect. There he is. That's the luckiest trophy in the world, by the way.
Yeah.
Be kissed by Zest. I'm going to go fight that trophy right now. Stay away from him.
We used to call him the Chisel Toss. Moonglade came up with that nickname.
Chisel Toss?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's funny. I like that.
He's a chisel man. He's definitely works. He definitely works out.
Yeah, man. He definitely does not skip leg day.
Yes.
So, here today, how is Cure going to perform? That's the big question. If there were to be an upset and Cure were to move on, that would completely change the way we would have to view this group. Because right now, I think most people who are reasonable would just look at the history of the players that we have here in Group B, which a lot of people are saying is the hardest group. Then they would probably say that you would expect Sue and Zest in the winners match. I think that's a completely reasonable prediction. By the way, we saw an attempted delay there on planting at the gas. A little bit of harass there by Cure.
Yeah, and the funny thing about this group is I think people are right in saying this is the group of death because regardless of if you win or lose, you're facing a fantastic player. Like Sue's on SKT, just bopped Solar 2-0 really quickly in his EVZ, and Solar was top 3 at the other Star League we got in Korea. So both of those players are fantastic. It doesn't really matter if you win or you lose. Obviously, winning is better because you have a chance to get out, but...
By the way, guys, look at the studio. Oh, my God.
Just look at it.
Just look at it, man.
Just enjoy it in silence.
The AfreecaTV people were sending me photos of it, but it didn't quite capture it until I saw it in person or in video
love
here.
This shot.
Oh, look at that.
We got a lot of people down here.
Yeah, guys, welcome to the studio. It is. I'm glad you guys, when the weather is really nice and solar, inside of a dark cave-like studio watching a video game, you did the right choice. You did the right thing. Yeah. Good to have you guys down here. And, yeah, I mean, we're going to see. This is a very tough, scary group. So we have a bunker here at the entrance. Was it Hero we casted yesterday with the pylon rush on this map? I know it was actually a map. It was a map that was like this map. But
I think it was Orbital.
Yeah,
actually,
that's right. It was Orbital. Thank you.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of different rushes here. And this time around, for Protoss, we're seeing him go for the Robo Bait. Now, let's take a quick note here. Pylon on the upper right, that's a spot for the Reaper, but in case he comes down the bottom, he combos the Mothership Core and the Stalker, and this might actually just work out perfectly. Yeah, that's going to get it for sure.
Yep, there it goes. No scouting information. Note also the placement of the buildings in Zest's main. Everything is on the right side, so he had everything covered. And if the Reaper did go up the close side of the cliff, he could have even overcharged the pylon too.
Exactly.
So he would have killed the Reaper either way.
That's like perfect defense. And these are, Zest is not just a player where it's the overarching idea of what he does is good. He does a lot of these little subtle things, and when you see it, you think, man, you really have thought out every little aspect of the game.
Yeah, it's like Stu in the last game, where he was spreading his lings all over the map. It's stuff like that wins you games at the highest level. And I wouldn't even doubt the fact that maybe Zest is going to throw out some pylons on this map to spot. Definitely a good map to drop on.
Absolutely. Now we have the 4 Widow Mine drop coming up here. This is not that common at all in Legacy. We've seen a lot of other kinds of drops.
Yeah.
But this could be effective. We'll see. Unfortunately for him, though, there is a quick robo here, and he may be more than prepared for this. I think that he has the right idea, having the Stalkers at least back there, although I guess he's moving them now. Anyways, we have the Warp Prism coming up, and when you do the robo build, you really want to make sure that you're just spotting everywhere, because the drop can act like a double-edged sword, and if you can pick it off before it does any damage, oh man, this is right in the middle, and this is a problem for Cure.
He's going to drop down 3 of the Widow Mines. Zest needs to split. He loses 4.
I actually didn't even see the Widow Mine to the far left for a second.
That was a sneaky one, man.
Well, the Observer, I think it's headed southbound right now. No, he hasn't moved it yet. Okay, now he is. We see it going down now. It should be able to get over there. And a second drop coming in here. Cure going to be able to do, I think, a lot of damage. Or not.
Okay.
Or no damage at all. Wow. And he's going to be able to take out this Widow Mine, I believe, right before it will have its cooldown end. Now, let's keep in mind there are not Widow Mines, but Medivacs being picked off here. So Terran is still trading here with Protoss.
Yeah, that was some masterful defense from Zest. It was kind of a wonky angle that Cure came in, just right down the middle. I expected him to go for either the backdoor base or the main first. So it did get sniped, and so he lost 2 Medivacs, and I think it's like 6 Widow Mines.
And on top of that, he
has just 4 probes.
He's also got something to spot there. And this poke into the front can be pretty troublesome. The Widow Mines aren't that helpful in stopping stuff like this. Good reaction time there. There's a possibility that he's just going to try to barrel down the entrance and take this out. Oh, good targeting there by Cure. Still doing damage, but the real threat here is at the entrance. And we're going to see a lot more Stalkers continue to be warped in as he will blink back these softened up Stalkers. He might have to pull SCVs and try to target down the, or repair down the bunker.
Yeah, he's trying to go for the repair on the supply depots. He loses 2, and he's going to be supply blocked here. But he does have a nice surround here on the bunker.
Now, we'll see if he tries to do anything crazy like blink up to the left side. Not sure if that would be a wise choice or not. And I guess he's going to back up. Now, the worker count is 52 to 57. So not enough of a difference to be too impactful. However, Protoss is up in expansion. We're seeing the Forge and Gateway explosion occur right now.
Yeah, really what this pressure is about is keeping Cure on 2 bases. He doesn't want him to take that 3rd base. Zest has been mining from this 3rd base for so long.
Okay, now we have Stalkers warping in over here. Now this is exactly timed out, as Valdez was highlighting, to try to delay the 3rd base from coming down here. He can keep poking in the front as he does that, and it's these 2 areas that Terran have to juggle controlling while really making landing that 3rd a complete and total impossibility.
Yeah, I mean, look at this base. Totally saturated, 18 out there. And he's really just powering up at home. Double forwards, 5 extra gates on the way. Zest in massive lead in this game.
Okay, Cure's going to try to push out. I think he should have more than enough, and we should see an escape blink triggered here, as there's no way he's going to be able to hold that position for much longer. I believe the Warp Prism, yes, the Warp Prism is going to be rotating around here to this side, although I think to much lesser effect, as I think Terran should be able to handle this pretty easily.
Yeah, kind of funny you see a Stalker drop. He's just using the Stalkers that he had warped in earlier on.
Yeah, this is not something you want to do unless you were in this exact position that Zest is in. He's just taking whatever units he has and trying to force Cure to multitask and try to defend as much as possible. And as he's doing that, he did take an expansion in the center left.
Yeah, Zest is going to be up a base in this matchup. Not something you see too often. Usually in PvT, very even timings on when these bases do come out. But Zest definitely in control. This is a very big map, so it's hard for Cure to try to put on that pressure. Once the drops failed, he's been locked in his base for so long.
Okay, he's blinking back now. We got a big warp in here, and there's a lot of Zealots to soak damage up here. He's got to just be careful to see how the Widowmine's damage is going to be distributed, and that was the right move, by the way, by Zest to try to gun down that Widowmine. You can see it's just a little bit slower, so sometimes you can catch up to it, and actually you kill it down.
Look at all those upgrades lining up. 1-1 and charge.
Wow. Also concussive shell and infantry armor level 1 here. Now,
all the upgrades in the game.
Now he's going to try to hit here. Got to be careful, though. Widowmines and Marauders together with the Medivacs pretty scary. And there's actually a Dark Shrine about to finish here, so I think the next warp in, if he does decide to do that, would be DTs. Here we go. The attack's commenced.
Here we go. Widowmine hit. There's just not that many units at the front for Cure. He's dealing with the drop. But Zest is going to back off, I suppose, scared of the Widowmines for now.
Yeah, I think also that attack in his main was being cleaned up, so he's going to go ahead and back up. And this is a lot of Archons. There's not going to be a lot of room to escape here at the third base. A scan here for Cure confirms that he's behind once again in a base.
4 Archons, 2 of which are going to be dropped in the back.
Oh, but
nice
he's
targeting on the but it doesn't go down. Unbelievable.
Wow, okay. I was sure that was going to be picked off, but nicely done there. That's not the only Warp Prism he has, though. There's one over here to the right of this screenshot right now, and that's warping in over there as well. Also note the spread here. If you just check the mini-map in the moment where there's no action, you can see that there's actually, I don't know if it's probes or pylons or what it is, but he's got spotters to check for drops over there. So Zest really in control of this game.
Yeah. It looks like he may go for another drop while he pokes the front once again. Just really nice straight-up macro play from Zest. Just really controlling the game so far.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job and taking a 5th base while this is going on. I mean, you could see that the Cure has really been stuffed into the corner of his map and is not being let out.
Yeah, I didn't even notice his 5th base coming up. Zest is like getting out of hand almost. He's like, I'm just going to get all the bases on the map.
Yeah.
I might as well. He's got what it looks like
when
a
I have all the bases,
up.
I have all the money. When I have all the money, I can make all the stuff. With all the stuff, I can win all the games. So that's my approach.
That's a good approach, I would say.
Yeah. Now we see scans. These are trying to survey just the outside of his base as, Cure is desperately needing to play catch-up here. Supplies are even, expansions are not. Whatever move Cure makes next is going to be very important because he has to make it work for him. He might try to play defensive. He might, in fact, try to play an aggressive game. That's interesting seeing the DTs there. I guess if he doesn't want to drop on those pylons, he'd then have to scan. He's just got this really complete, well-rounded defense.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I guess it's like if the drop comes out there to snipe the pylon, maybe the DT can stop that? You know?
Yeah. I mean, why not?
suppose.
It's not something we really see, but you look at it, that's what adds up. He's ditching his main. That also shows just how squeezed he is for minerals right now. And he has the Templars inside of the Warp Prism here, and we're going to see some drops showering down. Beautiful storms! That's some of the best storms I've seen. Just completely obliterating that. More Archons being morphed in as Protoss begins to close in.
The Archon's now going up the ramp, and it just doesn't look like there's enough bio. He's got a massive amount of Stalkers now pushing the ramp.
I mean, Zest just crushing through. And I think that's game. He's going to go right up to where the barracks are. That's it. GG. Nicely done.
What a badass, man. Zest is playing unbelievably good today. That was really pleasant to watch. Straight up fantastic macro game from Zest.
Absolutely. I mean, he did a really good job back there. He was in control from start to finish. There was just not a whole lot that Cure could do. I thought the strategy Cure used early on was pretty cool, but the problem is that it seems like all the Protosses out there are starting to just get Stalkers with Blink and play a safe game, and they seem to always be gunning down the Medivacs. And that's making these
Yeah.
drops maybe not pay for themselves.
Zest had some masterful defense there. I think Cure could have come in at a slightly better angle, for sure. But going for that kind of drop, you need to do damage. You can't lose 6 Widow Mines and 2 Medevacs for 4 probes. That is not going to help you, Tasteless.
Right. Okay. Game number 2, Ruins of Sierras. Cure is in some hot water. I got to say, Zest looked terrifying in that match.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he can lose in a PvT, but we also have to see what kind of strategy, what kind of opener Cure is going to use here. Because that last one, simply put, was not enough, and ultimately Zest looked unstoppable. Perfect defense, perfect offense, good scouting, he had it all. Anyways, guys, tell your friends to join us here in game number 2, Zest vs. Cure at the GSL Codex. In the upper left, in the blue, he is...
All-Star, Jest.
Really brought his A game tonight, that's for sure.
In the upper right, in the red, he is...
Genial Green Wings, Cure.
Cure not in the easiest of spots. He's got to win 2 in a row. And even if he does lose, as I was saying before, group of death, so he faces Solar. If he loses, that's not a fun place to be in.
A fortunate scout here for Zest. It was in the first spot he looked at.
Yeah.
Let's see what he has in store for us here. Occasionally there are more specific builds you can do if you find your opponent right away. And it does look like Terran, Cure, is going to be headed south. So he's going to be finding him a lot later. Hey, from Sydney. And Valdez, yes.
Oh, I was added to the sign. There you go. Hey, nice to see you guys down there.
I casted in Sydney, man. It's a great place. Oh, didn't block the command center.
Yeah. You know, I've never been to Australia, Tasteless. That's got to change eventually.
That's right, man. We got to figure out a way to get down there. And the only way I can think of for that is if somebody has something down there we can cast. We got some support here from Germany, from Two Dimensional Gaming. And one in the back, I couldn't read it. It was in the light blue, and I'm sorry. Maybe we'll get a shot of that next time. Sorry.
Yes. So another big map here. Zest going for a macro build once again, getting that very fast Nexus before the Cybernetics core. And he knows he's safe to do that as well because he did get that fortunate scout. And Cure going to stay pretty low on the tech for now. He actually expanded with no gas and is adding the 2 gases now, so he's going to add some extra barracks now for safety.
Okay, Robo build again here, Valdez. He is going to probably do the same thing as the last game. And we've also saw Trap play like this yesterday to a pretty good effect in this matchup. And I think we're going to be seeing this more and more as the meta continues to cement. It just seems like Protoss is now they do seem to have the option to, and actually he's changing the build slightly. I'll get to that in a second. But Protoss does have the option to do some crazy rushes. But it also seems like a lot of the Protosses out there, especially if they just seem to believe that they're better than their opponents, like overall if they play a solid game, they'll win. They seem to want to do a lot of builds like this. And I think he, in this case, is going to go for a DT drop.
Yep, looks like that's exactly what it's going to be. This probe is sticking around here for a very long time.
The probe is actually meditating right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's finding
the
presence.
necessary strength
he's
to
not
make
worried,
the DT.
He's not worried about the late game right now. He's just in the moment. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, there we go. The Dark Shrine is on the way. This is actually a build that looks like it's cheese, but isn't necessarily cheese at all. It's just a really good way to pin the Terran.
A really good way to keep him on 2 base, and you get that 3rd base on a big map like this. He used to do this all the time on Orbital Shipyard just because of how strong DTs are on that map. With the backdoor base, it's very easy to get in there. And the same thing can be said about this. I mean, I think you have to go around the watchtower if you do want to try to get it into the main. But definitely a good build to use on this map as well. And I do like that he is going for that. He's going to secure his own 3rd base very easily with this.
Blink has now started up. And what you're going to see is this build will start to look a lot more like the other build after the DT rush happens. You make the DTs and send the Warp Prism out to really keep the pressure on there. This forces Terran to occasionally make an excess of turrets, burn what could have been mules instead on scans. and then you just make a bunch of stalkers. Because generally speaking, Terran can't be dropping you while you're doing this, the DTs. Even though a lot of times the rule is if you see them with detection, they die. If you have the drop leaving your base and you expand it like Terran, the DTs just walk up and kill everything.
Yeah, very true. And
they have psionic blades, Valdez. I mean, those
are pretty strong.
They do a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's going to warp in 3 of them.
Now, Valdez, if you and I are DTs, some DTs hold the blade, others hold the Sith. Which one are you and I?
Huh. I like the size, actually.
Oh, that's good. Okay, because I wanted the blade. Okay, so we got 2 Valdez DTs over here.
We're matching.
That's it.
Wow.
Here we go. Coming down now. He picks up. Now, all he has to do is keep Terran back at his base. And if we watch on the upper left, Protoss is going to take a 3rd.
Yep. This is the exact build and really effective drop. It looks like he walked in one.
It's a tasteless DT. Tasteless DT with the side blade back here. Oh, but the 2 Valdez DTs coming over here and going ham on the depot.
Wow. That's I would like to go for the SCVs, actually. But
actually,
Kira's got some nice defense.
I think it's okay. I think it's okay because all he's doing is he's making him use scans. Oh, is depot going to burn out?
There it goes. I love that War Prism play. With the new increased range on the pickup, you could just use this so aggressively.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's doing. Gotta love it. Snipes the depot. He got 6 SCVs and 2 Widow Mines in damage. I think he sniped a couple of Marines, too. And as we were saying before, this is really just about putting on pressure while you get your 3rd base.
Okay, more gateways coming down. The Protoss is going to only further cement his position when the resonating glaives are done being upgraded. Now, can Terran push out? I don't think so, because I think what you do at this point in time is you sprinkle the DTs. Oh, well, I guess not. I was going to say sprinkle them in the pathway, so he has to keep using scans, but instead he's going to try to pull them back in here. This might be pretty good.
It's pretty cute, just doing a little bit of damage there to the depot, trying to distract Cure here.
Problem is it doesn't slow down this attack over here. Let's see if he can actually hold the Nexus. I'm not clear on what Protoss actually has back at home.
Looks like he's got a pretty sizable army outside of that 3rd. Well, it's not too big, but he does have 3 sentries. Definitely the force fields will help out in the defense of any kind of attack here. And he is getting more gateways online, turning them into warp gates and warping in stuff around that 3rd base for that defense.
Okay, armor coming up here. Terran seems to have gotten control of the map again. This is just so great. You just send these DTs out like this, and it's a handful for Terran.
Look at the angle that Kira's coming in here. He's not attacking straight on. I think he knows that Zest is in the top left. I'm pretty sure he does. It looks like he wants to go for a drop into the main.
Yeah,
makes a lot of
that's
sense.
exactly right. That's exactly correct. And he's going to be headed over there now. Another scan mows down this DT, but still not as many minerals here. It's going to be a later 3rd base, or at least harder to secure 3rd base with the lack of minerals there. And I think Zest would be okay in a straight-up fight.
Yeah,
so,
he could even add in Archons now if he wanted to. I think he'll keep them as DTs for now, just trying to pressure and force more scans. No concussive shells. That DT is going to survive with a blink forward.
And there's the wasted scan, which is quite unfortunate. We don't have the 3rd base landing yet here for Terran, but we want to watch for that because that may trigger Protoss to try to push. Terran may rely on drops to try to keep Protoss from leaving, similar to how we saw the attempted DT drops to try to delay Cure from leaving his base. So we might have a little bit of a role reversal, but the problem is Terran's so far south. I don't know if he's properly monitored the upper part of the map because we have Zest making a beeline right over here.
Zest comes to the 3rd. He's like, what? You don't have a 3rd base?
No, that's what's so funny about it. He does not even care. Oh, my God.
This is going to turn into a base race. Kira's going straight for the base of the Protoss.
Let's see what happens with this. The Adepts are going to shade on top of this army. Terran is retreating back. Now, also note, if he has the command centers lifted, that's the only thing. Well, he can only scan, right? So if these CCs are in the air, I think Zest can rely on DTs to slow this down, which could become a huge problem.
Yeah, the orbital on the ground doesn't have enough energy yet. It's really close. Around 45
He actually has to land that, like, right now. Okay, he's going to land that. We'll get the scans off. He's actually a little bit more preoccupied. Okay, we see the scan goes down because the energy went down for that. He scans. I believe he's got the DTs. Is Cure going to keep going forward here? They're actually both on, as far as mining goes, one base right now.
I think Kier comes out ahead in this.
Yeah.
He holds the attack. He keeps all of his orbitals alive. I mean, Zest keeps all of his Nexi alive, too. But, 3 orbitals against 3 Nexi, I think definitely Kier's got a pretty nice spot here.
I think you're 100% correct, Valdez, because
he's just got to get out of here with his medevacs, but...
well, he looks like he might be able to
that.
get the medevacs, so he will be able to clean up the rest of that. Very low supplies right now. One of these very unusual situations in StarCraft 2 where, both players are very starved on everything, and it's become one of these really scrappy games. That's so good. Oh, I love it.
The tasteless DT.
The tasteless DT.
What a play.
Warps in under the command center so he can't land it. That was cool. Okay. More scans coming down here. Now, keep in mind, those are not mules, which is really important when you have 15 SCVs to 22 probes. This may be a possible killing blow. If Terran had gotten the rest of his army back there, he might have been okay.
Is there any detection for not Tasteless?
For Tasteless.
Zest.
I got all the detection here, man. That's why I'm the caster DT, is I get to see both the players' screens.
Ooh, this is cute. He's going to try to drop all the Widow Mines, and the units of Terran are at the natural. He's going to force some of them back and maybe attack the fronts. Not sure if he can, though. Yeah, he's got to be really careful.
This is a little bit risky. Okay, that's kind of stuck up there for a little bit. We don't see a lot of probes being made here, and this may be the mistake that's going to cost him the game. It almost seems like he's trying to figure out, because if he can just force the second base to lift, if Zest can, then I think he would win, but I think he's not confident. So now we see 3 probes being made, 1 out of each nexus, and actually a counterattack coming up here.
Finally got some detection for Zest on the map. Going to go spot the top there. And looks like he's got another observer over there. May be able to spot this drop coming in. A scan could also mean, he wants to spot where the army is and know if it's safe to go for the drop.
Oh my God, if he gets it, that's going to be huge. You needed that. He needs that for the scans and for the mules, and he doesn't have it, which means we may have to see. Oh, hold up. Splitting.
Oh, really nice shots there.
8 probes taken out, and he's going to pick those up. But I don't believe that that Zest is done yet. Zest is actually just going to go for it. He can force field. He can force field off the main.
What a play. Gets right on top of that production.
And I think, Terran's going to try to go around. Oh, beautiful.
Zest is so smart, man.
Yeah, but is this too many units actually warped in here? These stalkers are not that strong by themselves.
Well, more adepts coming in. The warp prism there on the high ground, and it looks like Zest should be able to take this fight. He's going to back off away from the Widow Mines.
Yeah, it's fine. He can ditch the main. He can force this to lift. That's a win in itself.
Now he can force field again. There he goes. And now he's going to get to work at that natural.
He's saying, drop at me, bro. I think he just gets the command center, right?
Well, I mean,
check it out. 1 DT here, too. Okay, there is at least a scan. Thank God for him. But with the Guardian Shield here, I don't know if he's going to be taking enough damage to actually lose the fight.
Kier down to 5 SCVs as well. It looks like Zest has finally broke the camel's back.
I believe that these medevacs are depleted on energy, too. They've been healing for a long time. Yeah. And the thing is, Protoss can pick his own fight because Protoss has the position that they're fighting over, not Terran by any measure. So really interesting. Okay, so we see some of these medevacs are in fact depleted. And even though it's only 20 probes, it's only 4 SCVs. So he's going to try to shade on top. Actually, he might cancel. Let's see what he does.
Nope, shade on top. He's going to go for it. He sees that army and says it's puny, goes for the attack, and he should be able to wipe this out.
That is going to be game here. Zest with a 2-0 win over Kier in actually what was a fantastic series to watch, which means in the winners match, we're going to be seeing Sue versus Zest in our third best of 3. GG.
Zest, really clean play today. He has practice for this group of death, making it very clear that he is, in fact, the favorite to get out of this one.
Really nice stuff, man. I got to say, Kier looked really good, but Zest is just everywhere.
Yeah.
And that was a very technical fight that went on around the Terran's main and expansion. And I think what Kier was doing was smart to do that counterattack, but I mean, we saw the way he would play off the DTs not just the DTs, the sentries, the stalkers, the adepts, comboing that with the warp prism, and it was just too good, man.
I think Kier's going to have a better shot against Solar for sure in the losers match. His TVZ has always been quite good, so you know, going up against Solar there, he may have a better shot.
Certainly so. We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, we're going to go on to the winners match and see who will be the third player to move on to the round of 8 in tonight's GSL Code S. Stay tuned.
Ihr macht es mir echt einfach. Hiermit bedanke ich mich bei euch, dass ich so leicht hab. Ich weiß alles über jeden ohne List, denn da steckt ein Teil bei Exhibitionist. Stasi könnte von mir lernen. Gegen Service gebt ihr eure Daten gerne. Man hätte sich die Finger wund geleckt, eure Daten auf dem Silbertablett. Ihr seid die brave neue Welt, ja. Ich mach euer Leben zu Geld, ja.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let's make it hot.
에너지 음료 핫식스는 GSL과 함께합니다.
언제나 있는 그대로의 맑고 깨끗함을 지켜가라고. 겨울을 잊은 강물이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
BT의 몸을 맡겨라.
새로운 영웅은 언제나 환영이야.
오버워치 5월 24일 출시. 예약 구매로 누구보다 빠르게 친구와 오픈 베타에 접속하세요.
Oh
3, 2, 1.
And I wish you would come over here and show me something good. You got me thinking about how you look. Oh, hot damn, you must have wrote the book. Oh, that girl's so fine. She must have wrote the book. And every second is electric like 1,000 volts. Not to mention my intentions only natural. And your affection is the question I've yet to close. And I'm close. You keep giving me looks when you come my way. The way you're shaking me up, it's like an earthquake. You keep giving me looks that I can't escape. You make my pulse race with the 808. And you know I could.
I know what you think. I know how it looks. Like a thief come back to ask for what he already.
소개팅이 1년 만인데 혹시 소개팅 자주 하세요?
Knocking on a door that you've been fighting hard to close. Your friends all swear you.
저는 중국어 조금 할 줄 아는데 혹시 중국어 배워보실 생각 있으세요?
That you see a change from the past, taking me back again. I ask, I'm waiting.
이런 여자 어때요?
Waiting. At the end of this hope I have, I'm waiting.
네, 좋아요. 한 6시 정도 만날까요?
Edge of a heart attack.
Let's make it hot.
에너지 음료 핫식스는 GSL과 함께합니다.
2016 Hot 6 GSL Season 1 quiz.
We are back, and this next match is going to be sick. Zest against Sue, a PVZ, and frankly, I don't know who the hell is going to win this.
I got chills.
Indeed.
Zest versus Sue. Oh man, this is good enough.